All right, D4. This is going to be our last game with Thun Lee from, looks like Vietnam. Is that correct? Vietnam. I know my flags. Okay. E6. Avoiding the Nimzo again. And Thun Lee transposes into the Queen's Gambit Decline. The Queen's Gambit Decline. The Queen's Indian. With a quick D5. Okay. Let's take. So when you play the Nimzo Indian, okay, when you play Knight F6, E6 against D4, C4, you have to have a, let's call it sister opening, for lack of a better term. That's probably not the best term I could use. Because you need another opening if your opponent plays Knight F3 on move 3. If your opponent plays Knight C3 on move 3, you can play Bishop B4 and go into the Nimzo Indian. If they dodge that move by playing Knight F3, you need to go into another line. So a lot of Nimzo players also play the Queen's Gambit Declined, or another opening they like to transpose to is the Queen's Indian. You can also go into, which I think is the most testing for sure, it's not even close, is to go into the Catalan with Knight F3 and then G3 and doing the kingside Fianchetto. So I'm just going to play B4. I'm going to try to restrict this advance C5. So my opponent set up very solidly. Very solidly. So if you play the Nimzo Indian, you gotta think about that. And the annoying thing about playing the Nimzo, it is a fantastic opening, but the vast majority of the time, you are not going to get your opening on the board. So you really have to say to yourself, do I love playing the Queen's Indian defense? Do I love playing the Queen's Gambit Declined? Do I love playing the Catalan? If your answer is no to any of those questions, you should not play the Nimzo Indian. So I changed the pawn structure to get some action on the B file. Also, black, excuse me, will either need to push or to accept an isolated pawn. So where to go with my queen here? I think just Queen C2. Bishop's hanging. Bishop's hanging, dude. Let's see. I think the best course of action in this position is to defend this pawn that's hanging. So probably, let's just play A4. And all right, so we got another standoff here on the B file. Let's just reroute our knight. So I dabbled with the Nimzo Indian for a long time, and it was actually a pretty good fit for me because I really enjoyed playing the Queen's Gambit Decline with black. So if my opponent played Knight F3 on move 3, I just played D5 and got into the Queen's Gambit Declined. And the nice thing about that is you avoid a lot of the exchange variations, which can be a little annoying with okay, what I was thinking about here is playing this move. Notice we got a pin. We got a pin. And let's take. Oh no, I missed that. That's defended by the queen. Oh no, blunder. A total blunder by me. Oh man. Oh, I totally missed that. Oh man, that's rough. All right, we're not giving up though. I mean, we got a center. A lateral defense. Oh, and I totally missed that. That's hanging. Not looking good for me. Not looking good for me at all in this game. Where do I go? I guess we'll bring the knight to e2. Ah, I just played that tactic too quickly. Way too quick. My opponent offers a queen exchange. Really excellent move. Totally killing my counterplay. I gotta try to keep the game as complicated as I can. This is a sad move, but I absolutely have to make it. So I'm getting absolutely crushed. Those are just the little things. If any of you guys are interested in streaming and you're going to start, is like you see tactical ideas like this. Bishop hanging. But it's those little details, like the queen will be laterally defending in that position that you just miss. You know, that's a stream blunder for sure. I think I'm going to coin that term. But I'm not making any excuses here. My opponent's playing a really terrific game. Played the Queen's Indian when I avoided the Nimzo. It's keeping up the pressure, but it's getting a little down on the clock. Getting a little down on the clock. All right. Let's play tickle here. And we're just going to keep pieces on the board. So where does the queen go here? Ah, the queen goes there, of course. My opponent's got the answer. Of course, my opponent has the answer. All right. Not sure what to do here. Not sure what to do at all. Just trying to keep things as complicated as I can. Let's put some pressure here. He doesn't have any type of discovery that I could see. You know, if there was a position where he would put my king in check, you know, there could be a disaster on g2, but so far so good. Putting pressure here. I'm not trying to say that rook c1 is a good move by any stretch of the imagination. I'm sure it's not. But I'm just trying to pose problems for hashtag stream blunder. Yeah, get that. We'll take that to the trademark office. Oh, brother. What to play here? I just don't even know. I just got to find a move. Just got to find an active move. This is not a move you want to play. Like I just played this because I have absolutely no idea what to do. I do not want to weaken my king like that. My king side. That was a horrible move. An absolutely horrible move. You could probably just go g5 here. g5 would be really strong. Okay. So the queen steps off. Let's bring my queen in. And let's grab this bishop. Okay, in comes my opponent. I can take here. I can take here and come, let's say here. Queen exchange. Bring the rook over. Won the rook here. How about here? Ooh, not sure I wanted to do that. That wasn't a good move. All right. Well, we kept things. So this is a good example. Really good game by my opponent, Thun Lee. Thank you so much for joining the stream. Thanks so much for playing. Especially in blitz. Okay, you never want to give up. Okay, it is very difficult when you have a dominating position like Thun Lee did. You're looking for that knockout blow. Like you're looking for a way to end the game, and I'm sure it was there. But very often, and this is my experience, is you get yourself into time trouble. And then if your opponent keeps things complicated, which I did, let's go back to this move, okay? I think this was the key position in the game. How many of you would just exchange here? Good morning, Willie. Thanks so much for joining. Be sure to follow and catch my next stream. We're about to wrap up here, but I play viewers. We've just been playing viewers all morning. Thanks so much for joining. Be sure to follow, turn on your notifications, and I'll see you next time. The point I'm just making here is, how many of you would exchange on D3 in this position? I think a lot of you. Okay, you would probably say, I can't play my queen to A2. But queen A2 is the move in this position, and I don't care if the computer hates it or not. We need to defend the knight, but we want to keep queens on the board and keep things as complicated as possible, okay? And I was able to not only win on the clock, but actually come back in the game and have a decisive material advantage just because I kept things complicated and my opponent was running low on time, and that's when blunders happen.